Welcome to the Performer Radio Show. Each week, we interview some of the most interesting people in the fashion and entertainment industries. Fashion and entertainment industries. Beautiful models, singers, comedians, dancers, fashion designers, actors, beauty queens, and many more. Right here on the Performer Radio Show.
Okay, 2021. Hi. Welcome, Jules.
Hi.
Welcome back.
How are y'all doing?
I'm doing fine. How was your Christmas and New Year's?
All is well.
Well, you had a little bit of a bout of something.
I
COVID-19. We've heard about it in the news a little bit.
Unfortunately, I did. But I'm very thankful. All is well right now.
Good.
So.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
What did you spend Christmas here in Boston, or were you down south?
I actually had COVID during Christmas.
Oh God, that's got to be the worst, right?
It was okay. I was snuggled in bed and just slept. So.
How much TV did you watch, or did you watch?
I didn't really watch any TV.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So you really
I was down for the count.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Much better now though. So.
Thank you. Yeah, you're back to your pizza eating days, right?
Oh.
Can you taste the pizza at least now?
I can, thankfully.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, good. That's good.
That would be a travesty. But
we actually a little bit different this time this year. We're going to switch things up. You're in the co-host seat right now,
yes.
And we got a second co-host tonight, and Mike, how you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just glad to be here.
There you go. And how was your Christmas and New Year's, Mike?
It was great, man. It was great. It was a little more quiet than usual, but
I think that's the case for everybody, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, especially up in Boston. There's nothing going on. Actually, Jules, how far south did you go? Did you go to Daytona before Christmas?
I went to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, and that's almost like it was nothing going on there, right?
Honestly.
Yeah. That's like
Florida
COVID?
has its own rules.
Yeah, I know. Which is why probably they're not doing too well in the numbers.
I know, unfortunately.
But hey, if that's what they want, then that's what they get.
Yep.
So, you got it after you came back from Fort Lauderdale, right?
I actually got COVID here in Boston.
That's okay. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
After you came back from Fort Lauderdale,
correct.
So you got COVID here in Boston. So, and now people got to watch out for the new strain. So please be careful out there, folks. It's kind of tough because tonight we're going to have half virtual guest, half in-studio guest.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know, in studio here, even though you don't see us wearing masks right now, we're across the room from each other, and there's plexiglass separating us from each other, which we kind of did very good job of hiding. You can't see it all, but
you can't see it, but it's around me.
It's literally all around you. We're like in little cubicles, like in office cubicles, but we can see each other.
For sure.
So what are your plans for Super Bowl?
Well,
we know you're not a Patriots fan, and we know you're not a Tom Brady fan, but you are a Jacksonville fan. So you're from Florida.
So that's the thing. I can't go for Tampa, even though I'm from Jacksonville. I think it's a Brady thing. So KC all the way.
KC all the way.
I know.
Well, okay. If you're talking about the AFC, we should be rooting for the AFC team because we're an AFC city ourselves. It's like rooting for the National League when you have an American League team. But no, I think because of Tom Brady and Gronk, I'd say probably a good 80 to 90% of New England, let's say 80%, are rooting for Tom Brady.
It's so crazy how much y'all just jump ship. I understand.
No, but that's not jumping ship because when you think about it, it's being loyal to an individual who did give us a lot of years of really. I was mixed about it in the beginning of the season.
I think everyone was mixed. They were kind of upset, honestly.
But we have to tip our hat to him because he's done something phenomenal and 100%. No other player's ever done 10 Super Bowls.
I give y'all that. I am not a Brady hater. I respect him as a player, but I'm just come on, y'all.
Come on. Mike, who are you rooting for?
If I didn't root for Kansas City, I think my sisters would disown me because they are from Kansas City.
From Kansas City. Okay,
so this is
that's a family thing.
Side over here.
Okay, so I'm the only one I'm not really that pro Tampa. I'm pro Tom Brady right now.
Gosh,
so let's call it that way. If they lose, I won't be crying about it at all.
I hope they lose.
Okay, well,
I'm the most hated person in Boston right now.
I'm not a big Mahomes fan. I'll tell you that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's got a certain. He's got a certain little arrogance to him, and that's what I don't. I know Brady has a little bit too.
I'm about to say Brady. Come Come on.
Brady has arrogance too, yeah. But his is earned.
That is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got a right to be a little bit boastful, a little bit like, like that video with him and Gronk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit arrogant.
Yeah.
I got to admit that. I'm
He's
gonna
the pot
admit.
of it.
But he's earned it, so he's backed it up.
He has earned it. It's avocado
Let's
toast.
see what Jeff here. Go for Tampa to make Patriot fans' life miserable.
I was laughing at that. That was good.
Okay,
That's good.
Jeff, thank you very much for that one. So tonight we've got some great guests. We got a musician, Kendall Ramseur, on. Kendall is part of a group called Sons of Serendip, who are very, very popular on the show America's Got Talent. Plus, he's a solo artist in and of his own right. See, I got to get those bugs out. It's 2021. It's time to get rid of everything that was bad in 2020. And he graduated from BU, so we're going to talk to him in a few minutes. And later on, we've got actress Kayla Caulfield in the studio. That's a little hard to say when you're hungry.
Oh, man, you're just excited.
I am excited.
excited.
Well, yeah, I am excited. 2021 hopefully will be a better year than 2020 for all of us, and we're looking forward to some great things. I actually talked to the Martha's Vineyard folks last week, and they told me that the Comedy Festival, the annual Comedy Festival, is on for this summer. Yay! And the big giant music festival they have down there is on for the summer as well. That's going to be at the end of August. The Comedy Festival is at the beginning of August.
My birthday month.
There you go.
Hey.
All right. You got to come down to Martha's Vineyards with us, Jules.
Yes.
You will love it down there. Have you been down there?
I honestly haven't.
Okay. That's
on my to-do list.
Yes, that's got to be on your to-do list.
Yes.
Martha's Vineyard is an amazing destination in the summertime. There's a lot of tourists, we get it, but there's a lot of great things to do. So it's like Disney World. You go to Disney World, and yes, you're going to see a lot of tourists, but you can still get a lot done in Disney World. Okay,
I'm doing it this year.
You got to know where the places to go, and plus we have all the inns. We cover all the restaurants, all the great events down there. So, and we have a show that we do every summer down there, seasonal of course, and during the rest of the year, kind of like quiet, but we're always looking forward to summer. And last summer we couldn't, because everything shut down.
I know.
So we're looking forward to this one.
Get revamped this year.
Go ahead, Mike.
We did still do the one of the last episodes of the Performer Show. We actually did an interview with one of the ladies who owns the oldest movie theater down there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually the Martha's Vineyard show.
That was the Martha's Vineyard show.
Yeah, we did the Martha's Vineyard this week on Martha's Vineyard.
That's what that was.
That one went into into November, and then we shut it down.
Right.
So it'll come back around probably May.
Nice.
Okay, and then we'll have the actual television show from June through early September. So that'll be fun. Okay, so we're gonna do one thing first. We're gonna see an interview that Kendall did. Whoops! Oh, no, that's later. I pressed the wrong button here. All right, so we're gonna see an interview that Kendall did 7-8 years ago at the Boston Music Awards 2013. Wow. And that's when he was first nominated for the Boston Music Awards. And since then, of course, his career has skyrocketed.
Yes.
So we're going to see pre America's Got Talent Kendall, and then we're going to talk to post America's Got Talent Kendall after the break. So we're going to watch the video first and take a break, and then we'll be back with Kendall. So enjoy.
How does it feel to be nominated and to be here tonight?
I'm really excited. I feel so blessed.
And what are your friends and family thinking? Is your first year nominated?
Yes, this is my first year. I shared with them, that I was nominated, and they're really excited. I graduated from Boston University about a year ago, and I've really been pushing hard since then, as a recording artist. And just to know that someone noticed the hard work that I was putting in is just amazing. So. And
tell us a little bit about the work you have going on now, any of the projects you have going on right now.
Yeah, so I just released my album, Time. You can find it on iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, and it's an album that I released April of this past year. It's focused on inspiring everyone that listens. So I have that going on. I'm actually just finishing my tour, which is called the Time Series Tour, where I toured all over the New England area. So we finished that up last week, and so now I'm just kind of focusing on maybe a new album, seeing what tour we can start up next year.
That's the next question. What do you have coming up that people can look forward to?
Yes, so I have a Christmas concert series coming up on December the 16th. It's at the Dudley Library. It'll be a mixture of my own original works and then a few Christmas songs to get people in the holiday spirit.
Do you know any of the artists that are nominated with you as well?
Not necessarily in my category, but I know Louis Bello. I know Esperanza Spalding. I don't know if she's going to be here tonight, but there are a couple of them that I did recognize.
Anything you're looking forward to tonight? Any performances or anybody to see?
You know, I think for most of all, yeah, of course, the performances, but just to kind of spend this time with, you know, my close family and friends. It's really awesome.
And where can people find you? Are you on Twitter, on Facebook?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, everything's Kendall Ramseur, and of course my website, kendallramseur.com.
Well, congratulations and good luck tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well done, my friend.
I've been practicing. You know, blackberry hint water tastes more like fresh blackberries than the blackberries in my pie.
Really?
Yeah, taste for yourself.
I believe I will.
And?
Delicious. Just blackberries, no sugary stuff. You know, my cherry hint water tastes more like cherries than the ones in my pie.
I'll be the judge of that. You're right. Cherry hint water tastes more like cherries, not like that sugary cherry stuff in your pie.
Seems impossible.
We should double check.
Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
STEM is the discipline of hard numbers, precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to get messy, or just mess it up. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to try. Dare to fail. Dare to keep daring. Dare to learn the difference between organic, sedimentary, and non-foliated metamorphic rock. Get outside, find those rocks. Dare to be homeroom famous, a high school fable. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. And for the love of STEM, dare bigger. Dare to code, dare to invent, dare to explore, dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Don't give it time to reload it. Bump all the rules, do it your own way. Oh, you know the conversations I have with the mirror. I just wanna turn all the way up. And be like, hey, hey, what you gonna do with your life? Do what you like. Whatever I want, whatever I want.
Okay, we're back. That commercial. Actually, I put that in there because we got a bunch of hint commercials we can play, but I put that in there because that was debuted a year ago at the Super Bowl. So that was one of the Super Bowl ads from a year ago.
I could see that being a Super Bowl ad. Very.
It's different.
So uncomfortable.
We're talking about it. That's what they want us to do. So
Yeah, exactly.
It's working.
They want to talk about it. Hint is one of our sponsors, so
Yeah.
we had to throw that in there just for nostalgic reasons. Okay, I'm going to bring in our first guest of honor tonight, Mr. Kendall Ramseur. Kendall, how are we doing tonight? You can unmute your mic.
Doing well.
There you go. Okay, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight. So we saw you pre America's Got Talent, and that was pre-marriage too, and pre-child. So a lot's happened in 8 years for you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. A lot of great things, super exciting things that, as I said before, it's just very grateful to have had a lot of the opportunities to finding, my wife and having a beautiful child who's definitely keeping us fit.
I can imagine, especially the late night diaper changes and feedings and everything else.
Yes.
You and your wife kind of share those together, or are you kind of busy doing your stuff and she's doing her stuff? So how does that work for you?
Oh, please.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just tough. Okay, I get it. Well, I mean, now that you have more different experiences to draw on as an artist, correct? I mean, marriage and a kid compared to where you were 8 years ago. I know that was inspirational stuff back then. What would you describe your music now? You got some new stuff coming out, which we're going to talk about, but what would you describe it as right now? How much have you changed or transitioned or are still the same?
Great question. I would say a lot of it is still inspirational. I released last year, once the pandemic hit and my group, the tour was cut short. I started spending a lot of time composing. So composing works for solo cello with vocal accompaniment. Then that branched out to solo cello with choir. And then now, it's much larger works, so more symphonic. You can think of epic soundtrack type pieces. That's kind of been I don't want to say it's a transition or a pivot, but it's something that I'm trying to do simultaneously with of course, the cello, which has been great. I've always had a passion and a desire to write for film, so film scores, and so
right. So you want to do some scores in the future, right?
Yeah,
or you're already doing that now.
Yeah, little here and there, but I'm hoping to definitely get more into it. So, with the last piece, that I released last week, it's a song titled "Fall from Grace." It's my stab at creating this work that I felt would fit well with one of these epic films that I love to watch. So yeah, it's been fun.
Excellent. So now, in between that and what we saw earlier, you went on America's Got Talent with the group Sons of Serendip. Why don't you talk about the genesis of Sons of Serendip now? How did that all begin?
Yes. So Micah, the lead singer of the group, reached out to myself and the other two members of the band and asked if we wanted to audition for America's Got Talent. And, it was funny because during that time, I was still doing my solo, was still very active in my solo career. But, I said, hey, why not? We can give it a shot. And everyone else, no one was super yeah, let's do it. It was more of, yeah, sure. So we created this group, the Sons of Serendip, for the television show. We had never performed together before that, believe it or not. And so, our first live performance was at Madison Square Garden in front of, a few thousand people and, of course, the judges. And we didn't know how each member would kind of stand under that type of pressure. Certain folks would deal with performance anxiety and, all sorts of things. But it was amazing. Right when we walked out on the stage, me with my cello, Mason with his harp, of course, the piano, and then Micah, there was immediate applause. And it gave us this sense of whoa, okay, we know that this is a competition, but there was this different energy in the air where we felt no, these, everyone out here, they're really rooting for us. They're supporting us. And so we performed first audition. It went well. Great comments from the judges. And then each week, we were making it through each week. We were invited back each week. And all the way to the very last show, at Radio City Music Hall.
That's right. And, so you made it to the finale, to the finals, right?
Finale.
And that was, how many shows was that altogether? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know, but I know that we were pretty much living in New York for 6 months.
6 months?
About half a
wow.
year. Yeah.
Living the high life for 6 months. That's pretty cool, though, when you think about it. And let's take a look at most reality contest shows like American Idol. They stick to mostly pop, give or take. I mean, you got country, pop, but more like the audience skews younger. Your music probably skews a little bit older in terms of demographic. You have some pop elements, but you got the more classical elements in there with the cello and everything else. It's great to see a variety of talent. We were talking in the pre-interview about the magician. Mike, you were talking about the magician that won twice, I believe, right?
Yep.
So that's good to see a variety of talent on the TV screen, not just the ones that are going to be mainstream, And that's good that these companies are able to bring this out and show people different types of art, in a way. The other guys, you said obviously you created the group as gateway into America's Got Talent. What are their backgrounds? I know you graduated from BU. Are they all from the area too?
Yeah. Believe it or not, we all graduated from Boston University.
Great.
Which is crazy. 2 of us from the School of Music, myself and Mason, and then Cordero from the law school, and Micah from theology.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a great mix, huh? You got law, theology, and music. Okay, that works.
Right.
It did work, right? That's great. So after the show, were you still under contract with them for a while, or did the contract end when the show ended? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, you're on contract. I would say I think if I'm remembering correctly, it might have been something like 6 months, which wasn't bad at all. And right after that, we had a manager, we found a manager. We ended up signing with IMG Artists, who's a well-known classical booking agency out of New York. And so that's when the tour started. And we've been a group for, goodness, I think it's maybe 7 years now.
Wow.
And each year, just full tours throughout the country, some international shows. I think at this point we've performed in 43 of the 50 states.
Wow.
And it's been absolutely amazing.
Have you performed abroad too?
Yeah, we've done some shows in Canada, and then in the Caribbean. We love the Caribbean during the winter.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Right?
Yeah, we could definitely take a trip there right now, Kendall. Come on, let's go.
Oh, please, that would be great.
How many tours in total have you done?
Well, we do all year for the last 7 years.
Oh my God.
So 2019 we were away longer than we were home, and 2020 was set to be our biggest year. Just shows all over. It was going to be quite amazing, but of course the pandemic hit, and so immediately, within that one night, we had 60 shows canceled.
Wow. Okay. That sucks.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But I can say that it's like, dang, it's like that sucks. But I can say, we were able to make a smooth pivot to virtual shows. We weren't sure how our audience would connect, virtually. We weren't sure how we would connect, because if you have the opportunity to come to one of our shows, we're very hands-on. We love going out and giving hugs and hearing stories. I mean, it's really intimate, and so we weren't sure what the transition would look like virtually. But fortunately, each one, there were a few hundred folks that would tune in, virtually. The beautiful comments were coming in the chat, and so we were able to get instant feedback, and folks loved it. And
that's awesome.
We did too, So it's worked itself out, I would say.
What's been your favorite venue you've performed at, or location, or?
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh.
There's so many.
It's so many, but just so grateful, because that's one of the things that touring does. It allows you to go to these places that you would never travel on your own. We do a lot of shows in the Midwest, and which I think is some of the most beautiful places in our country. Colorado, Montana, New Mexico, just some great beauty there. But as far as venues, there's a place in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and it's called the Wiles Performing Arts Center. Absolutely beautiful hall. Oh, wow. It's almost, they have trees within the balcony, and on the ceiling, it's a replica of the evening sky. So you have all the stars, and oh my gosh. So every time we have the opportunity to perform there, 30 minutes to an hour before we start working on our concert music, we just improv, and we just allow ourselves to be swept up in just the beauty of the hall and the music. And I would say probably some of our most beautiful improvisational pieces have spawned from that place.
That sounds idyllic. That sounds idyllic.
I would have never guessed Wisconsin.
Oh, I know. I'm telling you.
Sheboygan. I love it.
Right?
Yes, I love playing Sheboygan.
Right.
Actually, when was it? I think it was it? Home Alone. where when they were the polka band, he said, "Oh, our song is big in Sheboygan."
Sheboygan, that's
That's right. I remember that.
Exactly. That's
okay. That's right. So you're big in Sheboygan, along with the polka king of the Midwest.
Right.
So
there's been other beautiful places as well.
So how have you found How have you found technically? Has it been challenging doing the virtual shows technically, or what's the feedback like? Because you instead of being in front of an audience to get that instant feedback, you're basically just looking at a camera. How's that been working for you?
Yeah.
I would say it's been pretty smooth. Very grateful for our pianist, Cordero. We call him. His nickname is Troubleshoot. So he's figured out.
I need one of those.
He's figured out all of our, the technology side of things. But yes, I definitely agree. You can't see the audience, which is a little different. But I can say whenever we give our live shows, the lights are out in the house, so we can't see them.
That's true.
That's true. But you can still hear them. You can hear the applause. And everything else. So there is a little bit of instant feedback with the audience. I suppose. I guess you could read what's the chats or anything else that comes along or something like that, but still quite not the same. Because I know a lot of artists feed off the audience, live audience. Sure. So that does help a lot of them. Do you find it hard to be improvisational when it's virtual too, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, that's another great question. So we tend not to do that.
Okay.
So the pieces that we do share virtually, we stick to, I don't want to say the written score, but we stick to what we know. We don't really leave too much room for improv, just because, it's already a little stressful because you hope that the internet holds up and that, there's not major latency issues,
Right. That's
so
a
if
tough
someone
one.
starts kind of, blowing
for people that don't know what latency is, means like there's a delay between one and another. And when you're talking about music, obviously you want everyone to be in sync. So it's a little difficult. Right. It's very difficult.
Right.
Quick question here now. When you started doing the solo career, in addition to, was that something you had planned before the group or after or during the group? How did that all come about for you?
Yeah. So the solo.
You had a solo career before, but then the group came along, but now you kind of ignited it again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, all of the guys within the group, we realized, the pandemic hit and, probably I would say 80% of our income came from touring. Mm-hmm. And so, we said, okay, we have to do the pivot virtually. That's great. But each person, there were gifts and talents that we weren't necessarily able to focus much time on because we were just, city after city, state after state. And so we gave each other that freedom to tap into those gifts and talents again and see what stories you could tell through those stories. Because, I would say my focus has always been on trying to bring healing and encouragement and inspiration, right, through my music. And so it's great. It's awesome. We have the Sons of Serendip. We're offering that. And then it's like, well, okay, I have some extra time here, right? I'm not catching a flight to this. Hey, why not write a symphony?
There you go. Well, actually, in a way, then COVID-19 was a bit of a blessing for you individually as well, and maybe the other individual members of the group, to do some of the solo projects and things that they were thinking about all those 7 years that you guys have been touring straight through. And that's a blessing in disguise. So tell us about your upcoming solo project now. Let's talk about it. You just released last week, right?
Yeah, I just released it last week. It's titled Fall from Grace. And, I always, as I said, I've always been very passionate about, these epic pieces, where you have full orchestra, choir, and, solo instruments just sawing away.
Is that the album or is that a single? I'm just curious.
No, good. Yeah, so Fall from Grace is a single. I released an album last year titled Selah, which was a compilation of solo cello pieces. And then soon after, another single titled Noel. But Fall from Grace is different from the other releases because it brings in the string orchestra, the woodwinds, the brass, the choirs. And as I said, I felt like, personally that it would go well with like some type of epic film. And so, yeah, Micah, I was sharing some of these pieces with him. He said, Kendall, you should release some of these things. Because, I'm always writing. And then, they would just stay at home and I would kind of walk around the house listening. Oh, man, this is awesome. But, he encouraged me, hey, share those things. I think folks would enjoy listening. And so, so that's what I did. And that's, kind of how Fall from Grace was released.
That's awesome. And where can people find your music and watch you on your lives and stuff like that?
So on all of the major digital distribution platforms, so iTunes and some of the Amazon, so all of those platforms, and then of course on my website, KendallRamseur.com, I try to keep that as up to date as possible with just different projects that I'm working on. So yeah, I would say those platforms there.
Yeah, just an apology to folks. We wish we could play your music and your music videos, but the copyright issues with Facebook and things like that. Yeah. We never know what's going to trigger us. We had Louis Bello here perform live at the Boston Fashion Awards, and we still got a copyright issue on it. He was live so he sounds too much like his recordings apparently, which is what you're supposed to do. Yeah. But what can you do? That's okay. That's Facebook for you. So what's in the future for the group as well as yourself as an individual?
Yeah, I would say similar things, more virtual shows, until things open back up. We're itching for things to open back up, and releasing more music. Actually, the Sons of Serendip, we released an album last year titled Mosaic. And, because we had that extra time, instead of focusing on covers, which is what we became more known for on the TV show, we started writing more original pieces. So this is our album that has the most original pieces than any of the others. This is our fourth album. Over 50% of those songs are original. So more original pieces, more virtual shows.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Good things ahead.
So where can we find all the Sons of Serendip stuff?
Yeah, so sonsofserendip.com. We try to keep that up to date, and of course we're on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and we try to keep that up to date with what we're doing in this season. So yeah, I would say those places you can find us.
Excellent. Well, Kendall, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. It's too bad we couldn't be in person, but we understand. And maybe next time, of course. When you guys get back and COVID's done, maybe you can all come down and perform. We have a TV studio here, so you can come down and perform for us maybe at some point. That would be great. And looking forward to hearing more of your music. And I want to wish you much success with the baby or the child. How old is he or she? I'm sorry.
His name is Owen. 16 months.
16 months. Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't reached the terrible
running
twos yet,
all
so
over the place.
Get ready. Okay, get ready. Get ready for this. The storm is coming, and I'm not talking about a nor'easter. That's okay. It sounds to me like you and your wife get it well under control. Well, thank you very much, Kendall, for coming in. We do. Not coming in. Excuse me, for joining us. I see. I'm still thinking. We're here, but you're not. But you're right, like right. It's like you're here. And stay warm this weekend. I think we're getting another nor'easter. And who you got in the Super Bowl, Kendall? Let's find out.
I feel so bad. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl. Please don't.
It's over.
He's
done.
Definitely busy with the kid. That's no doubt about it. Well, thank you very much, Kendall. We appreciate you joining us. Okay. Right after this, we're going to fill that seat right there with Kayla Caulfield. And yeah, I know, Mike. And we'll be back right after this, folks. Stay tuned.
Huh. They made this blackberry taste exactly like blackberry hint water.
They made this watermelon taste like hint water, too.
How'd you farmer wizards make all this fruit taste just like hint water?
Well, we triple irrigate our fruit with hint water in the world's largest biosphere, which modifies the DNA to taste exactly like hint water.
Really?
No.
What a sarcastic farmer.
Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Hi. Can I get the now bar, please?
No problem. $1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a now bar, please?
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a now bar?
Hey, stop right there! Get down on the ground out of your spot right you can't! Move over your head!
Show some respect. Show you give a damn. Show the world how it's done. Show them that when your community needed you the most, you showed up. Mask up, America.
Okay, we're back. That was a good interview. I enjoyed that a lot. So make sure you guys check out his music online, and he's really amazing. I like listening to Sons of Serendip once in a while when I just want to relax. They had some great Christmas stuff out too.
Yeah,
it's too bad Christmas is over, but they had some great Christmas stuff out too. So next year, check them out.
It's definitely going on my playlist.
Yes. Okay. That's funny. It's like, I don't know who's in the soup. That's a classic one. That's good. All right. So now we've got this great actress coming up right here. Kayla, welcome to Performer.
Hi.
How are you? Look at her all cheery and smiling.
I love it.
Yes. We need a little more sunshine around here. Jules has got that smile all the time anyway, too. So now it's like double. Okay,
Yes.
so good.
We have the
I like the way that
off-the-shoulder
this is
going.
so symmetrical now.
This wasn't planned.
Look
Right, this is not planned.
Yes, look at all the symmetrical.
Yeah.
Jules, come on. The dress code was black today. What's the matter?
My bad.
Yes,
bad.
right,
I give me that
exactly.
one.
Yes, all right. So Kayla, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You are an actress and a model.
Yes.
I want to show
correct.
some people your modeling shots. These are your headshots, okay? Ooh, I love the hair here.
she.
Got the bangs
Right?
going on.
Go, girl.
Ooh, yes. Check that out. That's cute. I like that one. That's more like the. I'm going to put on my PJs and watch Netflix tonight and get some popcorn and some pizza. Okay.
That was like a photo shoot that I did
That's
like
cute.
in my
That's,
room.
That's really? Awesome. Oh, okay. These are cute, though. I love the bangs on you. The bangs look really, really good.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. So, how long you been at this, Kayla?
So I've been, I basically started out with modeling, which I've been doing for about an estimate of like 9 or 10 years. Wow. That's kind of how I started. But then I made the transition into acting like after I graduated high school. I started out doing like student films and independent films in the Rhode Island and Massachusetts area, and just went from there.
Excellent. And when you first started with the student films, did you think, okay, this is something I want to do forever, or for my career, or something just you were dabbling in, just hobby? What was your impetus? What were you going for?
It was definitely something I was like dabbling in like at first. Like I wasn't sure like how I wanted to. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So like at first I didn't go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so like I just thought, oh, maybe we'll do some little bit of acting, see how this goes, and it's been great. The community in the industry in the New England area has been so supportive, and it's been great.
Cool. And did you get signed with anybody first, right off the bat, as far as modeling is concerned?
When I was young and starting out, I was signed with New England Model Group in New Hampshire, and then I jumped to a different agency a few years later to Donahue in Rhode Island, and then I was with one in Massachusetts, which they unfortunately closed. It was called Cameo.
Yep, I remember Cameo. Cameo and Cameo Kids.
They were in Waltham, which is where I live now.
Oh, okay.
And then I was with Dynasty for a short time, and then I took a break because I was trying to sign.
Were you with Dynasty when Jin and Joe were there, or this was after? Jin and Joe left.
It was under a new ownership, so
right.
I really don't know the name.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I started working independently because I've been still trying to submit to agencies, but no luck. And then I actually just recently signed with Model Club, which I'm excited for.
That's awesome.
Tim is great. Tim and Jason.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Great guys. Okay, good. I'm glad they signed you. And actually, Model Club's been doing a lot of acting stuff too lately.
Yeah.
It's a good mix for you because you do both.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So now we'll talk about the more recent stuff in a bit. Most of the time, when people break into the industry, they do background and extra work.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's been no different for you. Did you want to get more into television or movies? What was appealing to you at that time?
Mostly movies, because I've mostly done extra work. So it was mostly film. I've done commercials here and there, but film is kind of where I kind of want to gear towards.
What was your first film that you were as an extra in? That was SAG eligible.
It was Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart.
That was
it was right after I graduated high school. It was that summer.
Okay, that was a fun one. That was a film mostly in the Boston area.
Yeah.
Didn't they do another one here recently?
What, another Kevin Hart movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it was funny. I was filming that. It was literally the day or the week before he had that terrible accident that weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We were filming in the public garden, and that weekend he had that car accident. It was crazy.
Okay. So is that one, did they finish principal filming on that or not?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know? Okay. I mean, when something like that happens,
I honestly forget the names. So
in the industry, obviously, it's something you don't want to happen.
Yeah.
But when something like that happens, it can derail the whole entire film because of their schedules and their commitments and things like that. Plus, it also sometimes they can't do the film physically because of injuries and things like that. But he seems like he's recovered okay for now.
Yeah.
And if it hasn't been finished, hopefully they can get it done because we want to see more of you on screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many films in total have you done now? I know you're counting. Come on.
Oh my God.
That means it's a lot.
It's a lot. That means it's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could check it on IMDb, but why don't you tell us? You're the source. Go ahead.
So to name a few, actually, I want to mention I was in a film a couple years ago. I worked principal on. It's called Coda, and it was in Sundance.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. Definitely.
Okay,
that's why I said that's your current stuff. So
current.
We'll lead up to that. Okay.
So to name a few, I was in a Netflix show called The Society, which they just did the first season. They were going to gear for the second season at the beginning of the year, and then of course COVID shut down, and then they were gearing for September, and then Netflix canceled the show.
All right, and that was shot at New England Studios.
New England Studios. Yeah, so we filmed the first season a couple of years ago, and that very same year is when I joined SAG. I had at least 3 months of working on that show as an extra, and it was a lot of fun.
So you became SAG eligible because of that show?
No, I just joined SAG that same year.
Okay.
I became what's called a must join.
Okay.
That same year.
Gotcha.
So
we had the SAG president here. What was it, last year? Yeah, we had her here last year talking about the industry and what it's been like lately. That was pre-COVID, right before COVID happened. So actually, since COVID happened, what's it been like for most of the actors in the area? I mean, I'm sure that things went way downhill in terms of availability of roles and things like that. What was it like for you?
It was definitely tough, but it's a good thing that some acting coaches that I've worked with and some acting teachers have been doing classes online, so they kind of work their way around it, being able to teach acting classes virtually, which is, it's a little different than in person, but it's something. You have to at least work your craft somehow, so that way when we open up again, you can be ready.
Okay, when you say work your craft, you're talking about just basically keeping
keeping the
pipes
juices
clean,
keeping the juices going. Yeah,
keeping the juices going, keeping it flowing.
Yeah.
Have you done any virtual performances at all? Anything like that? Nothing.
Actually, I did like this little like Zoom video film thing.
Okay,
that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Like you can't do like the 48-hour film projects now or anything else like that. Did you ever try one of those? Those are fun.
I've done them a couple times. Yeah.
For people that don't know what that is, that's basically you have a whole crew put together: writers, directors, actors, crew, and you're given a subject. And then within 48 hours, you have to come up with a script, shoot it, edit it, and get it ready for production. 48 hours is all you get. And you're given props that you have to put into the film, which makes it very interesting to do. And you couldn't believe some of the most creative people, what they can do with 48 hours. It's fantastic.
All right.
And that shows you how many people are out in this industry that have a lot of talent. You know, they can turn around something like that quickly. So what is your favorite type of genre to be a part of in terms of movies? Go ahead.
My favorite genre would have to be comedy, definitely, because I just love to laugh, and I just love jokes and dumb stuff like that.
So besides Kevin Hart and Central Intelligence, what other comedies have you done?
The other comedies that I've done was Daddy's Home 2. What else? I think it was...
That's with Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, with Wahlberg. I'm trying to think like what else. That's like the only name that can really name at the top of my head.
I had a lot
it's
of
the
friends.
COVID brain.
I had a lot of friends in that movie. They were the two girls that were on the escalator coming up. Those are two friends of mine.
Yeah.
And a few others that were in that movie as principals.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they didn't have a line, but you could tell they actually put them in the trailer too.
Yeah.
So let's see. Most of the productions in the area usually shoot around the summertime. So you're busier in the summertime, in the fall, pre-COVID, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Or have you had a lot of winter activity too?
It varies. I think at one point it was like during the summer it was like very busy, and then during the fall it was completely dead. But actually during COVID, believe it or not, it's been starting to pick up a little bit, like little by little. Like productions are starting to like open up a little bit.
A lot of people don't realize that Boston is actually, because of the setting here in Boston, is used as a backdrop for other locations in the film.
Yeah.
For instance, what was it the one with Ryan Reynolds?
Free Guy.
No, I'm talking.
No, wait.
Ryan Reynolds and oh God, what was her name? My God. But they were in Sitka, Alaska, and they used this setting as Sitka, Alaska.
It was called The Proposal.
The Proposal. There you go, Mike. Thank you. I say Mike is my backup.
Yeah.
When my brain goes, his acts up, and it comes in there. The
Ryan
Proposal.
Reynolds and Sandra
Bullock. Yes, it just came to me.
And just recently, they had they filmed here that used Boston for New York City.
Right, exactly.
It was who's that? The Titanic guy.
Leonardo DiCaprio. See, we're all doing it.
I was like, what's going on?
We're all infected with brain disease.
For a second, I almost mistook Ryan Reynolds for Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah,
there's a big difference right there. Ryan
I'm making sure it's the right Ryan.
Ryan Gosling looks serious all the time. Ryan Reynolds is the biggest jokester in Hollywood, I believe, at this point in time. Actually, I was in Montreal once, and I turned around a corner, and a whole line of New York City police cars were there, and they weren't filming anything at the time, so I had no idea. I said there must be a police convention, and then somebody told me no, those are for a film that we're doing. I was like, yeah, because Montreal does look a lot like New York City.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, wherever they can go where it's reasonable, and they can be in close proximity to other locations, that makes it easier for them to shoot.
Yeah.
And that's why Boston is a great place, because you got the city, you got the suburbs, you got the rural areas, you got the mountains, you got the ocean. The only thing we don't have is a desert, but actually technically we do have a desert. There's a small desert in Rhode Island, and there's the desert of Maine. So if you really want to do a desert, we got that too.
Is there
There's
really?
No pump.
I
Yeah,
know.
really.
Fun fact. My whole life.
I'm full of these kind of things. Ask me anything. No. Go ahead, Mike.
Where is where?
The desert of Maine?
Where
Look
are
it up.
these?
You think I'm kidding? The desert of Maine. I'm not kidding. Look it up on your Google.
I'm going to.
I have a question. So you've been doing self-tapes. That's Is that a new thing in COVID?
It's a new thing that we all have to get used to. Yeah.
So you're basically producing yourself?
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough for me because I just moved to Waltham, and so I have to like the room that I have set in. It's like a small closet room thing. I really don't know, but it's been so hard. Like especially like I have 2 little dogs, and they're always like all of my business and making noise. And then my dad's doing housework, and then the lawnmower will be going, and the trash truck, and it's just ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough. Mike's been trying to set up something too, and you've been having a few issues, right, Mike? Technical issues.
It's not easy working from home. I'm a DJ and a magician, so as far as like getting the cameras set up and getting the props right and making sure the script looks good and the lighting is good and the camera doesn't hit the wrong way, because most of the time it's just you and the camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's so weird being a performer or an entertainer and only being you and the camera. Usually there's at least a few other people around you, you know, helping you out with the cards, with the lighting, with making sure things look good. But now you're your own producer, director, you're lighting guy, you're running everything.
Do you edit as well, Kayla?
Well, plus with like scripts, like reading the scripts, like back and forth, I have my mom with me,
Okay,
so in the room.
That's good.
So we shoot on either mine or my mom's phone. And it'll just like edit it, like crop out, like when I tap
simple
record
basic
and
editing.
tap stop.
Gotcha.
And
Actually, we're going to take a look at your reel that you sent me. Okay, so this is obviously not you editing these.
No.
But let's take a look at seeing some of Kayla's previous work. Here we go.
She didn't say what he did, but I knew it was him. Tall guy, weird mask.
Can I ask you what he did?
He held me down, put his hands around my neck. He wanted to see my eyes, and I thought he was going to kill me, but he just got up and walked away.
Are there any other things you remember about him?
I scratched him. He blooded my shirt. He said if I talked, he'd come back and finish the job. And that's why I'm only coming here now.
He loves it when I wake him up.
Yeah, when you were 5 and you didn't have cancer. You might want to let me catch you up on things before you come charging back in.
I was away for work.
Yeah, fine.
And Dad adores you, and you're going to be the main attraction, and I'll just carry on taking out the bags he throws up in and getting him to chemo on time. Just don't expect to be the star of my life.
So great we could finally meet for a date. I know, schedules have been a bit nuts.
Sorry. I had an FE rally to run.
Oh, FE. What's that?
Flat Earthers. No, we have a lot of members all around the globe.
What? Listen back to that sentence. Never mind. Any other fun beliefs?
Well, not fun, but people really need to stop vaccinating their kids.
Profile picture really did look nice too.
That's probably my favorite one. That's why I like comedy. That's like kind of where.
That's still so apropos right now. You got a lot of those people still out there in this world. Well, how long ago was that one filmed?
That was actually with a company in New York called Real Arc, and they just basically put together a reel for people. Like I already had one like a few years back that a friend put together for me.
No, I meant that scene. How long
scene.
ago?
Oh, that was like a few years ago.
A few years ago
in New York.
It was almost prophetic in a way. A lot of people don't want to take the current vaccine. So when you do something like that, where you have more of a featured role, how much do you prepare for something like
I was going to
that?
ask the same thing.
Oh, sorry, Jules. You can ask it again if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can answer it, or go ahead.
Either way.
Go ahead.
So I mostly, especially for the reel that you just saw, I had to prepare with an acting coach. I think like a few weeks prior to shooting. So I just mostly prepare with an acting coach that I've worked with, or like an acting teacher that helps out with
coaching.
Excellent. You got another question, Jules? I'm sorry I took yours.
Oh, no, not at all. 'Cause it would take me forever
Go ahead, Mike.
to remember
You got a question?
anything.
Yeah. I'm terrible, but
I'm bad at that too. I'm really bad. Go ahead, Mike.
So you mentioned you worked with an acting coach. Do you have to work with different coaches to do different things? So versus comedy or drama or horror, like, do you work with different coaches for those different roles?
So it depends, because there's mostly just mainly two that I've like really not like trusted, but like really like felt like I could get the job done with them. So yeah, it's just mainly just like the main two that I really want to, need help with, like kind of digging deep into the script and to kind of put it all together for me.
It's awesome.
Okay. So what are you working on right now? Anything special or not? We're going to talk about Coda in just a second. I'm talking about any new projects you're like really working on right now.
Nothing as of yet. I mean, like I said, things are starting to pick up just like slowly, little by little.
I think this spring and summer will be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Coda.
Yeah.
So this film has been really all over the news, especially the industry news, the past week or so. I'm going to give a little backstory for it, and then you can talk about the rest. Coda stands for Children of Deaf Adults. It's an acronym, and you said it was filmed 2 years ago, correct? Principal? Yeah. Okay. Now, this was entered in the Sundance Film Festival, and today won 4 awards already.
Yesterday,
won 4 awards. Yes, won 4 awards, including Best Director. And this past weekend, Apple TV bought the rights to the film for $25 million, which was the highest selling sale at Sundance ever in history. And think about all the films that have gone through Sundance now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's amazing in and of itself.
Yeah.
So tell us what Coda is all about first.
So Coda is basically about a girl who was born in a deaf family, but she's like the only hearing or speaking girl in her family. And so she's kind of in a rift between working for her family's fishing boat or pursuing singing. So I auditioned twice for Coda. I think one for the girlfriend and the brother, and one for the like a cashier role. But then there was another auditioning opportunity where they wanted someone with singing experiences, and I've been singing since I was 6. I've had experiences with like choir, church choir, and local theater groups in the area, and local choir groups in the Boston area. So I'm like, this is the one for me. And so I went and auditioned, and the rest is history.
That's so awesome.
Excellent. And we don't know when this is going to be able to be seen by the public, because pretty much Apple TV owns it now. Mm-hmm. So whenever they decide, but I'm assuming maybe a few more festivals first, or I don't know how that works when somebody buys it already. Yeah. I mean, maybe they say, okay, that's it. No one's going to see it till we say so.
I know, yeah. I think I heard like someone said, I could be wrong. I don't know if it's true or not. So don't take my word for it, but I think HBO Max has this like feature where they show films that did really well at Sundance. So it maybe could be shown.
Maybe
there.
Apple might license it to them. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know, but
we're going to see you someday in that film, because they're not going to keep it under wraps. Obviously, they're not going to pay $25 million just to keep it in the closet.
Yeah.
So your scene was. Tell them what your role was first. I thought.
I was part of the school choir. So actually, it was me, and they recruited like 5 kids from Berkeley. So it was me with the acting experience, and 5 other kids
with the singing
with 0 acting experience, but musically advanced than me. But it was a lot of fun filming with Amelia Jones. She's in a Netflix show called Lock and Key, and working with Amelia Jones.
And you had a trailer too, and everything else.
Yeah,
I saw it. I was like, that's so cool.
That's so. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And what was your actual title of your role? We got to tell people.
Oh my God.
You've done nothing to be
I
really
live with
embarrassed
it for the rest of my life.
Yes,
but
I know.
I was labeled as off-key girl.
Aww.
Now you can be the judge of that.
Well,
but that's how
funny.
I was labeled.
You want comedy? That's funny to me. All right, that's
awesome. Yeah, it's funny.
So, Kayla, where can everyone find you online? So check out some of your stuff.
So they can follow me on Instagram. It's KAY_Caulfield, and they can follow me on either Facebook, or I have a Facebook page for like modeling and acting, and that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Well, thank you very much for coming
you.
down
Thanks so
tonight.
much.
We
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it. At least it wasn't snowing or crazy or cold or anything else.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I know. It's been a tough winter already, but we'll get through it. And any plans for traveling in the future or anything like that? Anything good?
Nothing as of yet.
Just stick here and just weather it
stay
out,
here,
right?
just-
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go. All right, so I think next week we might have a fun with food. Jules, you up for that?
I'm here.
Okay, she's there. She's ready. We're going
I'm
to do
always
fun
here.
with food next week in this spot. We're going to alternate between performer and fun with food for a little while. Mike, you up for some food?
You know I'm always
Okay.
up for
yeah.
food.
Kayla, are you a big foodie?
Oh yeah.
All right, there we go. She's from New England. Who are you rooting for the Super Bowl, Kayla? Are you?
Oh no, I love sports. I mean, I mostly
Well,
love
that's
hockey.
a better
yeah.
answer than Kendall had.
No,
Okay.
I love sports, but I'm mostly invested into hockey. But I love football.
Okay.
But I would have to say Tom Brady, respectfully.
There you go. All right, Jules, you're outnumbered. Okay. Oh no, it's 2-2. It's 2-2.
Respectfully.
We're Tom Brady on the top and Casey on the bottom.
I'm still with Casey.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you coming in and joining us.
thanks for
and
having me.
we'll see you next week on Fun with Food. Take care, everyone.